Hey everybody, Small Flame 85 here, and we are starting a new series on this channel. Like I have other series on this channel, that we'll call this my first series. I guess the roll signs are a series. This is a different series. As you can tell, we're going to be looking at layouts. So this is actually an N scale layout that I am working on this door top here. And I know I've had videos in the past for HO scale, which I'm still doing, but Uh, little background, I had we went to Japan a couple of years ago. As you've seen some of my videos, really enjoyed my time there. Rode a lot of trains, had a really good time. In Osaka, I really took to the JR West trains, and so I wanted to bring a souvenir back. But as I discovered that Japan mainly does N scale, so bought a couple trains as a memento. What I thought were 223 series, and when I got back to the States, I realized that they were 225s, and that started me down the line of just looking at all the things that Japan had set up for their for modeling their railroads, and so I really took to it. And just like that, I said, you know what, it'd be nice to have an N scale now. So here it is, and it's going to be going through as I build this layout and prepare it, and just kind of take you what I'm going to go, what the plan is. So as you can see here, this is just going to be a simple double loop layout just for running trains, just having them on and continuously running. The back here, I have just a little staging yard, and it's going to be some maintenance tracks, and have a structure back there, and just some little opportunities for some midday between rush switching between the shops and the main tracks. It's going to be mostly electrified, so we're going to have catenary poles going around the loops. And actually planning on, if you see on this little spur here, I'm going to spur this off, and the thought process is over here. I'm going to have like an old engine shed, just for the possibility of maintaining diesel units. So they do have some DMUs and some single unit diesels that they run in Japan. So I was going to have an option for that. Okay, so to talk about operations, the plan is I'll be running 4-car trains with the ability to run up to 6-car trains. So as you can see on this fourth storage track back, that's a 6-car train. It's my longest one. It'll fit 6 cars without fouling the other tracks or moves. I believe this track on the foreground, this first one is able to fit a 6-car train. But I want to make sure that there's enough room, even if there's a train stored on that track, for any diesel units to be able to come in and switch out to the diesel track. As you can see here, I've added that one. And the plan with this one is to put a maintenance shed at the back there that'll fit 1 car, and have room on the outside of the shed to be able to store at least one diesel car each. So, and the switching thoughts for this one is I'm going to have the 4 foreground storage tracks and the maintenance tracks in the back where the white train is, have maintenance buildings back there, and to be able to switch between the two. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to borrow some main line, given how short the ladder is. So that'll make for some interesting operation, having to take train. The mainline train is going to have to hold if I need to do any switching work to move trains around in the yard. So that'll add just a bit of variety. I am operating trains in the Japanese convention, so trains passing each other on the left, clockwise on the outer loop, counterclockwise on the inner loop, which is why I have the turnouts faced as they are. So one here, one there, so that trains will be facing, as they'll be making facing moves as they switch over to enter or exit the yard. So any trains coming in on this track or leaving the yard on this track is going to go against traffic on the inner loop, and then be able to switch onto the correct direction as it gets into the station. I was thinking about adding a yard lead on that inner track, or I make a third loop just to have a nice long yard lead from the station, but the radius was way too tight. It was like a 216 millimeter, which is getting into 8-inch territory. So that was just getting way too tight. But yeah, that's the thought process. Next steps is going to be taking this track off, painting the tabletop. The base color is going to paint it a gray base color, and then setting up the wiring, and then getting the track back on. And then from there, we move on to scenery, which is not my favorite. Never was an artist, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to having to making some progress and having a layout. And hopefully this inspires me to get trains running as I start to work on my HO scale out, which is still a work in progress. So, but I want to thank you guys for sitting with me on this one. This one might have been a bit of a long video, but I just wanted to update everyone on what's going on the modeling side. So thank you very much. Appreciate you guys sticking with me for this one, and hoping to see you guys on the next one. You guys take care. Be safe.